everyone. Once again, I'm Brenna Nath, HW Plus Managing Editor here at Housingwire. We're continuing our Tech 100 Spotlight series here at CMBA. Today, right now, I have with me Ike Suri, who is the Chairman and CEO of Funding Shield. First, thank you for joining me, Ike.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me.
So wanted to start off by saying congrats on being a two-time Tech 100 winner. And kind of with that, I wanted to ask, how have you watched technology play such an integral role for people when it comes to navigating COVID-19?
Sure. Thank you very much for that. Of course, very honored and humbled to be in a group of such talented peers in the industry. When it comes to your question in regards to technology, what it's doing, and how it's playing its integral role, during this pandemic and work from home environment, we've seen all sorts of interruption, disruption, market volatility, the need for disjointed workflows to be connected, and technology is really providing that solution. Leadership in all firms is embracing the technological innovation available to adopt, adapt, embrace these strategies to run a sustainable business, to service everybody included, starts from the customer and all the way through employees, staff, and everything else. Happy to get deeper into it.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it. More people are embracing technology. Leading into that next question, I wanted to ask, what's one fact that stands out to you right now when it comes to wire fraud?
It's epidemic. That's the first statement that comes to mind. Even though it's underreported for many different reasons, FBI page points it out as an epidemic for last year. There's a huge risk involved in this environment where there's all these vulnerabilities where firms are trying to transition from what the workflows and business environment used to be in an accelerated fashion to work from home. So the one thing that stands out, it's epidemic. It's only going to rise. It's only going to get worse. And those that are unprepared are accelerating towards, it's good to see, towards facilitating their staff, their brain trust, with skill gaps that they have, with skills that they need in order to run a smooth, efficient business.
That's a great way to put it. Moving into my last and final question, and to wrap up, is what is one tip or piece of advice that you would share with the industry given current events right now?
Well, I think one tip I can definitely point towards is that leadership needs to empower their team, their brain trust, and equip them with proven technological tools to facilitate this disruption, and run a sustainable business, protecting the business itself, the customers, the stakeholders in the process, because this business is such, it's complicated. And at the closing venue, where it's the most vulnerable time for wire and title fraud to take place, to prevent from all those things, the best thing that the firms can do is to empower their team. And one thing I end up saying all the time, you can't send your team into a gunfight with a knife. You got to have the technological tools, and you got to equip them with the technological tools in a manner that is quick, plug and play, efficient, and doesn't take too much time to transition.
Which goes right back to that empower word. Well, appreciate you joining me today, Ike. It's been really helpful to hear all of these details and the impact and what's going on in wire fraud. And thanks again for joining me.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Hello, everyone. Once again, I'm Brenna Nath, HW Plus Managing Editor here at Housingwire. I'm excited to be joined by Brian Francis, who is the Chief Technology Officer at FormFree. First off, thanks for joining me, Brian.
Oh, thanks for having me today, Brenna.
Yeah, jumping right into that first question. FormFree was named a Tech 100 winner the past 2 years and also in 2017. Have you watched technology play a greater role in the industry since you first won in 2017?
So, we've continued to lead the technology evolution over the last 2.5 years, and in an industry that is really trying to emerge from legacy manual processes And we're living in a world that needs real-time results. Everybody today is used to getting things instantly. So when you are 45, 60, whatever more days for the entire mortgage process, that's just not what you're used to today. You're used to instant results on your phone. And the way that you get there is the industry is beginning to embrace the use of innovative technology. And we've seen a surging adoption of our technology. But there's a lot more that needs to be done. We were uniquely positioned with the kind of the current state of the pandemic to be able to move to a fully virtual environment immediately. And technology is really what allows us to do that. And real-time technology is important as well. And so, but what you're seeing though is you're seeing some of the legacy things that are coming along that aren't operating in real time, that aren't able to respond with up-to-date information about things like employment, about things like delinquencies. So our focus on the technology side is, while yes, it's important to empower the lenders, what's really important is who is at the center of every lending transaction, be it a mortgage, car loan, student loan. It's you, the borrower. So our focus really is empowering the consumers to understand their own financial DNA, and that's their assets, their income, their employment, their credit, their identity, what potential liens and judgments they may have against them, but understand their own picture and be able to securely deliver and share that with whatever their lender at that point needs to be. So that true understanding of an ability to pay, we really build a market which puts the consumer at the center. They're in control of their data, and they bring the analytics to the lender to make the lending decision. And that's what we call virtual credit.
That feeds right into my second question for you, Brian, which is what's one piece of advice that you would give to lenders in order to be more competitive in today's market?
Oh, it's very clear. You have to be high tech, high touch. I mean, the pioneers in this space, the Quicken Loans, the guaranteed rates, they are the ones that really have led the industry, and FormFree's been right along with them, enabling direct source access to digital data from a consumer-powered focus. Again, it gets back to instant gratification. You want to know right away, can I afford this loan? Do I have an ability to pay? Well, that's information about me, and I should have that information at my fingertips, ready to go at any time, and then share that with that provider. So I think it's also important for lenders to look at, does it make sense for them to buy or to build? I mean, that's always been the question in any business with any technology. Does it make more sense for me to try to learn an entire ecosystem, an entire infrastructure because I feel like I can build it? Or do I want to go in and buy from a market leading solution? And then at the end of the day, yeah, the consumer's at the center of this entire transaction, but everybody that's involved on that needs to be empowered to be able to utilize technology. Loan officers, processors, managers, they have to be able to adapt and to streamline their workflow and move from what in the past was just pushing paper around and, hey, do you have this document and this document, but really being that relationship provider between the lender and the borrowers.
And looking now directly at FormFree, how has FormFree streamlined the mortgage underwriting process for borrowers, especially when it comes to the last few months?
So 1st of July, we introduced our Account Check Plus product. So that combined our pioneering asset report with our patented employment extraction routines and income analytics, all delivered in a single report. And we delivered that to every one of our integrations at the flip of a switch. There wasn't any additional change to the borrower process, change to the lender process, build a new integration to Encompass to be able to do it. All the lender has to do is say yes, and they're able to take immediate advantage of this revolutionary 3-in-1 report.
Yeah. I appreciate you breaking all of this stuff down, Brian. I know this industry finds it super valuable. It's nice to hear from you and appreciate your time today.
Well, thank you very much, Brenna. I appreciate it.